People are ready. Yes, yes, yes. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Philadelphia. Well, we're not there, but the Philadelphia Grand Slam is here. Joined today by my good friend Aaron Potts. Aaron, how are you doing on this beautiful Sunday?
Good, man. Ready for day two, Grand Slam. Yesterday was great. A lot of competitive races, a couple close finishes, and we got some pretty fast times with Marco doing his thing. That was insane.
Yeah, that was a good day of racing, and I really liked the format too. You know, we've changed it down from 3 days to two. We've compressed it. Um, I feel like it's a good viewer experience too. So doing the same thing today, a lot of action. Got men's 100, women's 100, got some 400s coming your way. Yeah, it's and of course, who can forget the men's 3000? So we got the distance. The hyper competitive distance runners are going to be here. So stick around. We're getting set up. We're going to be live from the track in about 5 to 10 minutes. And for now, we're just going to hang out in the chat. Gonna get some interaction. Leave your country flag. If you're from Jamaica, I want to see the gold, black, and yellow. From the U.S., let's see the red, white, and blue. Let's spam the chat. I love when you guys do that. Oh, and I want to say thanks to everyone who's been a part of this already yesterday and help the stream stay relevant and alive. We've posted again the link in the above the chat right now. This is where you can help make sure that the Los Angeles Grand Slam can happen. Click the link, follow the prompts, and you'll see the blue boxes. Click the blue boxes and click any of the blue links afterwards. It's such an easy thing to do. You guys don't understand how important it is. That literally will help us make the next Grand Slam live stream happen. Research on your running, go through those links, check it out. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're getting some flags. Oh, we got a Denmark. That's what I like to see. South Africa, Trinidad and Tobago, Dominican Republic. Shout out Polino. Out of all of these countries, Aaron, where do you want to visit if you haven't already been there?
I got to say Jamaica. Shout
Mm,
out. I need to be on the islands with my feet kicked up. You know, some good
hell yeah,
food. That sounds great.
yeah. I have never been to Jamaica, nor a lot of these other countries, but I have been to the Dominican Republic. Very
Oh, the
hot,
DR.
very hot. Mm. Barbados, yes. That's what I like to
Barbados
see.
will sound like it'd be a good time too. Sound like it'd be a vibe there.
I think we just need to go to the Caribbean. I think we just need to island hop, hang out, meet some athletes, you know?
Yeah, hey, I would love to be out in Kenya too. I would love to go do a little mini training camp out there. Go see the
Oh, yes.
motherland.
That would be great. Kenya's one of those destinations, man. You got the distance runners of the East Africans, and you've got the sprinters in Jamaica. But what a cool international sport, you know? All these hubs around the world. I want to visit Kenya and check out their awesome doping program.
That's
Well,
crazy. That's
Charles, oh,
crazy.
Jesus.
You wild,
Damn.
Charles.
Damn, coming out, bringing out the heat. Okay, well, I got to check myself before I read the full comments. Even Rashawn is laughing at it. Goodness. Oh, David Padilla, Jamaica 100%. Oh, bro, you know. Hope your ear's feeling better. Yeah, I would love to go to the champs in Jamaica. I've never seen a country with better announcing, better vibes in the audience, and better just overall excitement than Jamaica in sprints and track. It's super cool. By the way,
Yeah,
everyone, word of information, updates on the track. We have an amazing creator, like full broadcasting team behind this, and they are working around the clock to make everything better. We are getting the word is we are getting better angles today. We're getting more shots in the track. We're gonna get potential replays. This is the creator feed, Creator Sports Network. Peacock has the main feed, but I mean, this is the feed where we can hang out and appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, I think if I could go anywhere, it would probably be, uh, well, Kenya would be great too. I was gonna see the Caribbean. That's an amazing destination. I have been there, but yeah, I come from a distance background. I love carrying the sprints, but I also, you know, if I go out for a run, for me, that's a at least a few miles. So
yeah. I mean, I'm looking at these European. I mean, I saw someone throw a New Zealand flag in there. I think it was New Zealand.
Oh yeah?
That
Oh
sounds
snap,
nice
yeah.
too.
Let's go. Middle Earth. So yeah, let's run through some of the events we got going today. Appreciate you guys repping your home countries. So we're gonna start off similar lineups as yesterday. We're gonna do men's 400 and the long hurdles first, followed by the women's 400. I will again be posting these events in the chat right now. It should be showing up. Oh, Guyana, absolutely. But yeah, so the 400 followed by another 4. Going to be following that with the women's 8. And we've got men's short hurdles, so another 100. That's going to be fun. Watching hurdlers race that open 100 for 100K. Super excited to see that. And following that, we're going to be doing another 100, which is going to be fire. Then the men's 3,000, which is the distance event. We cut the 5,000. Some people, like the idea. Some people not so much. But either way, it's going to be super entertaining. And then we've got 200, 200, 1,500, 100, and we're ending the day with the women's 100 and the men's 100. So the men's 100 is going to be the last. See if Kenny Bernard can keep his unbeaten streak alive. Man, people pouring in. I love it. Love it, love it. When is the first event going to start? That one is at, give me just a moment. That is going to be at 3:41. So the live feed should come in just a few minutes. We're going to get the athletes coming on the track. Opening race is the men's long hurdles, but it's not the hurdles event. It's going to be the 400, featuring Alison Dos Santos, Caleb Dean, Clement Duco, Trevor Bassett, Chris Robinson, who holds the fastest 400 PR in the field, CJ Allen, Assini Wilson, and Gerald Drummond from Costa Rica. Shout out to Gerald Drummond. You don't see too many Costa Rica athletes really pushing it. It's just not a popular, a prominent name in track and field, but he's gone 48-1 in the 400 hurdles. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, another country I would love to go visit, Costa Rica.
Yeah, that's a beautiful country. I actually have been there. Went there during college. Really, really beautiful. Yeah, love it. Love seeing all the countries here. This is great. All right, looks like we're in a few seconds. We're here. We're getting the live stream pushed in. We got we got Philadelphia. We got the track. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the 1500 is going to be wild today. I feel like you got to think Josh Kerr, Yard, and Cole are going to be ready to make up for what they didn't get in the 800 when Marco just slapped them. So they've got to be coming out ready to race, thinking I got to take Marco to the bank, and I gotta show the endurance. So we'll see what happens, but I'm expecting. You got to think by now they've learned their lesson. They allowed, well, when Yanyi beat them in Kingston, he is a prominent 800 guy, but he's got the endurance. If they don't push the pace, Marco Arop can challenge them. Yes, Sydney is running today. She's actually running in the Open 400, the Open 100, not the 400, the Open 100 meters, which she has not done since 2018. So that is going to be very exciting.
I was looking it up too. She ran pretty fast in college. It seemed like I think it was like 11:07 that she ran when she was in college in the 100. I don't know if that was wind dated or not.
Yes.
But I don't know
Looks
if
like
she's
she
gonna run that
was.
again. But
I mean, that's a quick time, especially considering she's mostly focused on the 4. But who knows? I mean, she's McLaughlin Levrone. She's broken a world record in the 400 hurdles 6 times. So, and yeah, that was with a positive 3.5 tailwind.
okay,
They did add that was in the middle of a heavy season too. So I mean, maybe there's something to that. We'll see what happens. Either way, this is going to be an exciting day. A lot of really interesting matchups, a lot of money on the line. And I was reading a stat somewhere that there's over $10 million of prize money that's getting shoveled out today and yesterday and today. That's so much money.
No, shout out to GST just making sure our athletes feel professional. There's never been a time where athletes were making this much money consistently, especially on top of a salary that they're already earning.
Yeah, facts. I mean, compared to other sports, there's always going to be some steps to be made in the right direction. But yeah, man, that's a lot of cash. So pretty exciting stuff.
Do you think Jamaicans like Tia Clayton and Sharika will ever do short sprints at Grand Slam this year? That would be awesome. I would love to see it. I mean, we only got one more to go, but that would be super cool to see them in the short sprints. That would bring some hype in LA.
I think so this is my I have a theory, and then I literally just thought about it. So it's more like an epiphany theory. So the last Grand Slam is LA, which is where the next Olympics are going to be. I think we're going to get at least two big names, or at least like two world leaders from this year that are going to make sure they're at the next Grand Slam. So maybe it's going to be Noah. Maybe it's going to be, one of the, you know, big time Jamaican sprinters, maybe a Fraser Price, maybe Tia Clayton, who, ran a 10:92 this year, maybe an Arion Knighton. I'm not sure, but, I think it's a good move putting that last so that everyone around the world gets to see how Grand Slam is unfolding, how the athletes are responding, the money that goes through it. And then it's sort of like that checklist. You get to LA, you experience it, you get comfortable with it, and you make that plan mentally that you're going to be in the next Olympics. Again, just a theory.
I mean, Rye lives right down the street, so I would
Oh,
love to
true.
see him come up against Dos Santos. That would be great.
Michael Norman's training with him too there. I mean, I don't Michael
Yeah.
Norman's always been a little bit of a mystery, but when he's fit and fast, man can hit some crazy fast times.
I mean, I would even love to see a thing. I would love to see a thing come and do the 15 and the 8 double. She's been doing a bunch of different from she did the 3K this year. She's done a 15. So why not just hop in and run a double real quick on a weekend while you're at home?
I mean, you make a great point. That would be great. I would love to see it. A thing's racing is always a little bit very unpredictable. It's not a little unpredictable. It's very unpredictable. But I mean, that's kind of the madness of Bobby Kersey. He he kind of puts together what a lot of people perceive as a random race schedule, but I mean, for some it works. Look at McLaughlin Levrone. I think Mo, she won the Olympics when she was coming out of college, and then she went on to run some super quick 800s. You gotta really feel for her too. In last year's trials when she fell, that was so tragic. She was positioned decent, tripped, and wasn't able to finish the race and didn't make the Olympics. So I mean, that's got to be a little scarring on you. So hopefully she can just shake off the demons, come back to good racing, and have a good 2025. So we are now less than 10 minutes away from the first race, everyone. So we are getting good shots of the track. We're hearing that we're about to move live to the track. So stay tuned, and let's leave our predictions in for the first race. So um, I will attach. Mm, Yeah, I'll attach the schedule in the chat. Here we go. Here we go. You gotta love Steve Cram. So for this first race, Dos Santos is coming in really on top of the world. He has been very difficult to beat. But if you'll look right next to him in that picture in your screen on the top left, I am very confident that Chris Robinson is going to challenge him. He's gone 44-1 this year, and that's got to be a top 3, top 4 time in the world. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some quick times today. We're going to see it, sub 45 is very possible. The conditions are better than yesterday. It's not swirling winds, no rain. I think we're going to see a decent decrease in the times they run.
Yeah, no, the weather, looking at the skyline, it looks a lot better than yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm also curious of what Trevor Bassett is going to do in this 400 race.
Yeah, Trevor is a competitor. He's been to multiple global championship finals in the 400 hurdles, silver medalist in the 2022 indoor 400. Doesn't really race the 400 that much, but he's gone 45:05 indoors. So you know he can go sub 45 outdoors.
Yeah. You know, you may catch the Dos Santos or Chris Robinson on a bad day, and he could sneak in and get a W potentially. It'll be fun to see. Yeah, getting the electric slide at the track meet. It's a vibe.
So yeah, that's a good. I just hearing Steve Graham talk about the 3000. So the 3000 is the only event that's part distance now. We're not getting the 5000, 10,000. That is going to be one of the highlights from today. So we have Grant Fisher coming in holding, the leading position in men's distance, taking the victories. But he's going to be up against Agos Gerbewet, a 12:36 5K guy. Shout out to Graham Blanks from Harvard showing up. He's going to be looking to get a good placement, trying to bring home some cash. Nico Young from NAU, Adidas fame, he's here. Kai Robinson, also he's an on-athlete, he's going to be looking to run there. Ronald Quimoy, Edwin Kurgat, two Kenyan beasts, and then Andrew Koskaren. And I believe Koskaren's the only one that's really been able to outkick Grant Fisher this year. He's a very quick finisher, and the 3000 might be his race to take if there's at all a tactical affair going on. So it's one race for $50,000. I love that. It's not a 2-day event. It's shut up and race. We are here. That one's going to be very exciting. Yes, the screen is going to be zoomed in, everyone. We have that side screen here, but we're going to be going to the track in literally like 2 minutes. This is what happened yesterday. And so they're kind of just finalizing, making sure all the shots are good. Once the race itself is getting started and the athletes are lining up, we're going to head to the track and get the actual event going on.
Well, we've seen so many stars or current stars, and one or two of the passive. We've just seen, here's one of the future, Quincy Wilson, signing autographs. Great crowd, very knowledgeable crowd here.
Very.
One of the US's bright young stars. They have an embarrassment of riches in the 400 meters, always do.
Yeah, but he's already a star.
He is indeed. Not here in this 400 meters, because this is for the long hurdles. They had their 400 hurdles yesterday, so now on the flat, Dos Santos won again yesterday. Was a little bit unsure of himself, I felt, over the first couple of barriers yesterday. It's an unusual track here, more of that in a second. But Chris Robinson, who finished third yesterday, could yet cause an upset, because he's a very good 400 meter runner. For a little while was the fastest in the world this year, is still the third fastest so far in 2025 on the flat 400. So Dos Santos has a perfect record so far, is looking to continue with that. Trevor Bassett was the one who finished second in the hurdles yesterday.
I didn't realize Dos Santos actually had a unbeaten record. So that's in the 400 hurdles and the 400. He hasn't lost a single race so far. That's impressive. That takes some skill against pretty strong fields that they're getting.
Yeah, so today's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be a testament to where he's at. With like you're saying, Chris Robinson ran a 44. Low, not that long ago.
We could be seeing his first loss if Chris Robinson puts together a good race, because his fastest 400 ever is a 44.5. So that's basically half a second behind Chris Robinson. But I don't know. Dos Santos is a competitor. I'm not going to sleep on Dos Santos in any situation. So we're on the track. We're lining up. We're getting ready. This is hype.
For Robinson to win, well, he needs Alison Dos Santos not to go so well, not be in the top three. If they tie on points, we go to time then. The combined time for the athletes. And for Dos Santos, he's in lane 7, has got Robinson outside him, so can keep an eye, try and follow him. And the lane draw here, really important here at Franklin Field, because it's an unusual track.
Yes,
and the
sir.
athletes in lanes 1, 2,
Dos Santos
3
is
actually
just
have to cross the finish line
something about
twice.
his presence. It makes you think that he's going to run well. He seems like just a very optimistic but like determined athlete.
Dos Santos with work to do. 3 of them abreast, and here goes the Brazilian. Those long legs of his, taking him away from everybody else. Bassett fighting to the line, but it's going to be Dos Santos again. Chris Robinson in lane 8 on the outside, and this incredibly famous, historic track, but one in which the outside lanes definitely have a bit of advantage in the 400 meters. So Robinson with a 44.15 clocking is set fair here in terms of his opportunity to try and cause the upset. As Dos Santos, he's not that cold, that's what he always does on the start line. But he knows he wants to win this slam and also keep his perfect record going with a victory on the flat here. Clement Ducos, we haven't
I
seen the
appreciate
best
you,
of the Frenchman yet.
Panchi. I think I'm saying your name wrong. I am a black man.
Here as a racer.
Aaron Potts,
He's in
what's up?
6th. Now Caleb Dean again yesterday went out really hard, faded over the last couple of barriers, but has immense talent at 400 meters flat. Was 3rd in this event in Miami with a new personal best 45.18. Then Trevor Bassett. Well, he's never been under 45 seconds for the flat event. Looked pretty good yesterday, 48.25, and finishing pretty close to Dos Santos. Then we've got CJ Allen, finished 5th. Assini Wilson, very good young Jamaican. Not a bad 400-meter runner either, but tricky on that inside, these 2 inside lanes. Gerald Drummond takes lane 1, man from Costa Rica. Well, the reason they do that is when this track was originally made, what is now lane 4 was the 400 meters, and then the inside lanes added because of the walls and the old buildings.
All right, so the question here is, who's going to get into the 44s? As you can see, it is, we got another tunnel drone shot. I love it. It gives you some perspective of the size of this and the scale of this this field here. It is a very historic field, and I love the crowd that's assembled here. We've definitely made some steps forward, so we're getting ready for the race. Let's move in.
Maybe it was stay in lane 5. More of that later. Actually, no, he's in lane 4. Stay in 4.
Oh, you might have jinxed him.
I may have. Dos Santos in 7, Robinson in 8. Men's 400.
Set.
Dos Santos stood up out of the blocks, didn't he? And they let Robinson just take a meter or so. Plenty of time to hold that back in. Caladine has gone off very, very quickly. He's already hauled in Ducos, the Frenchman. Down the back straight, the crowd rise. They know where the battle is. They know where the fight for the slam needs to happen. It's Robinson and Dos Santos keeping an eye on his big rival, going well in lane 2, Assini Wilson. And his stagger will unwind and put him close to the top 3. But it's Dos Santos going well, and then Bassett trying to come back into it. Caladine is still there. There's 5 men with a chance here. Dos Santos with Robinson on the outside, and Dos Santos is starting to tie up. Bassett is trying to get there. Robinson coming back, but it's going to be Bassett. Dos Santos threw himself across the line.
He had the grit. He actually did have the grit.
Does Dos Santos get 2nd place? Because then we're into times. No, Robinson is 2nd, and that means that Trevor Bassett will be the Grand Slam champion.
Talk about an upset. I did not
result
see
by
that coming.
1/100th of a
I mean, we talked about Trevor
Robinson
Bassett making
holds up Dos
a
Santos.
possible surge, but I didn't think he's gonna win the whole thing.
I mean, you catch them on their bad. I wouldn't say they had a bad day, but like he had a good day. You know what I mean? And they're not that much faster than him in the 400, and he has great experience running World Indoors. So shout out
Yeah,
to
that was a
him. Shout out to Trevor, man.
well deserved, good race, disciplined, spread out the energy over 2 days. Look at him, man. He's pumped.
He moved so well from like that from like 230 into like the last 100. He was moving up so well, catching
Yes,
them.
sir. Yes, sir. We actually already have the live splits available. That's amazing. I'm gonna put that in the stream right now. Check out the live splits that I just posted. You can actually see the 100-meter splits of Trevor Bassett. So his final 100 was 12:24, and Allison's final was 12:39. So that kind of tiny marginal improvement there took him from, I think he was in 5th place at halfway, and then he held the lead for the final 100. That was a honestly for him right now. That's a huge momentum push. Much more known as a 400 hurdler. Again, he's a global finalist and he's a global medalist. But that's $100,000, ladies and gentlemen.
Grand Slam winner now too. Just stole it from Dos Santos.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Wow. Charles Wilson. Put some respect on my boy's name. Trevor finally got paid. Yes, he did. Honestly, it does seem like the track is a little bit slower than both Kingston and especially Miami, but there's so many factors that go into a time. But let's focus on the amazing just competition. That went all the way down to the final meters. And look at the money. Spread the wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. I gotta get in shape. And not that I'm ever gonna
Honestly, it would hurt. It would hurt to lose. 50K is so much different than 100K.
Yeah. You're truncating that in half.
Yeah, and then drop taxes on top of that. Like, damn.
Oh man, we're talking taxes now.
I just put my faith in God. I was going to run as hard as I can and let God deliver me through the race, and he did that today.
$100,000 you've got for your hard work. What was going through your head before the race began? Because against Alisson Dos Santos, of all people, he was perfect coming into this.
Just belief. I stepped to the line. I believe that I can win. I just have to go do it. And I put myself in range yesterday, so I wanted to give everything today.
You did exactly that. Congratulations.
Thank you. God bless.
You gotta love Trevor.
Huge racer of the year.
You gotta love that.
Huge.
Yeah, Kenny Bednarek to come, who still has a perfect record. Dos Santos has gone.
So there's
what
one
about this
undefeated athlete in Grand
women's-
Slam that no longer has that untouchable status on their name. Just lost to Trevor Bassett, and actually he lost to Justin Robinson as well, but he still comes away with second place and $50,000. So pretty solid, Man,
Quick GST question. So there's one at the end after LA. Is there one overall winner of the entire league, or is it per event?
I think the way they're doing it is on the men's and women's side. There's one athlete that has the biggest, the most. I think it's a dominant score. So in relation to the average finishing World Athletics score, whoever's the most like above that takes home an extra $100,000. So on the women's side, it was Sydney McLaughlin-Lavrone, and had she stayed in the 400 and 400 hurdles, I mean, of course she was going to win that. She was winning both events by like 2 seconds. But now that she's gone down to the 100 hurdles, she's not going to get that. So currently, I think that you got to think Kenny Bednarek on the men's side is up there. While on the women's, I'm not sure who it would be anymore. But I do believe it's just one on both men's and women's side. So yeah,
That's a significant loss for Dos Santos then, because he was undefeated.
yeah, it definitely was.
Previously on Grand Slam track, women's long hurdle.
The
It's now Cockrell pulling away. One more barrier to get over safely. She's over it, and it's going to be Anna Cockrell who takes the win. 54.04. Jasmine Jones finished incredibly quickly down the home straight to take second place. Adrianette Knight with the big opportunity to win this was second to Femke Ball in the Diamond League recently, and ran very well indeed, and has got a good lane draw here after finishing third in the 400 hurdles.
All right, let's move it over to the women's 4.
If she wins this,
We got Shamir Little, assuming she's running. She dropped out yesterday. Rochelle Clayton, Jasmine Jones, Lena Nielsen, Dalila Muhammad. We've got Anna Cockrell, Andranette Knight, and Ayomide Fulurunso from Italy. So I think Anna Cockrell's favored. She won that 400 hurdles pretty easily yesterday in just over 54 seconds. What about you? What do you got?
I would agree. Anna Cockrell's definitely the favorite, but I can see Dalila sticking with her. She was right with her yesterday, so let's see.
Bit disappointing, I think, yesterday. She's in better form than she showed in the 400 hurdles. Not the case for Anna Cockrell, the Olympic silver medalist.
Also, someone in the chat pointed out too, Melissa Jefferson Wooden is unbeaten in Grand Slam, so she's probably leading on that women's side for the overall
facts.
score. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, that's got to be the case. All right, let's head to the track. We're going to get some announcing of these athletes, and we will see who comes away with another $100,000, a premium.
Far away with that now. Lena Nielsen of Great Britain, a twin Lavia, the more recognized flat 400-meter runner. Lena's a hurdler, but Lena's had a very good indoor season at 400 meters, but that's a tough draw in lane 1 for the Brit. So what's going to happen here? We've got Anna Cockrell with the 12 points in lane 3 here, 400 flat, maybe not as good as one or two of the others. Adrianette Knight, who has shown that she can go well in the 400 flat. Jasmine Jones, we just don't know.
I wonder if they're aware of who they have to beat in order to win the slam.
I'm sure they are.
I would hope so.
Cleanly away this time, and Adrianette Knight drives out of the blocks as you want to do out there in lane 8. Set the tone for the race, making the others chase. Try and keep your rhythm, not worry about what's happening behind you. It's going to be a blind run for her for most of the way here. Rochelle Clayton moving up, Jasmine Jones is going well. Anna Cockrell just left a little bit at the moment. Fulurunso not having a good run. Dalila Muhammad and Lena Nielsen in lane 2 on the inside is going well. But it's Clayton who's got this at the moment. Adrianette Knight will have to try and respond off that. Nielsen's moving through in lane 2 as the stagger unwinds. The British athlete could well even be in the lead. It's Lena Nielsen over on the far side and right through the middle. Jasmine Jones and Adrianette Knight could be scrapping it out for the slam here. Lena Nielsen trying to hang on. It's going to be very close on the line. Nielsen takes it from Jasmine Jones and then Adrianette Knight. And that means for me, Jones wins the slam. Great run from Lena Nielsen in lane 2.
I did not have my eyes on Nielsen. I should have put her higher, way higher. Cockrell just wasn't quite there. You know, this shows how different the hurdles is from the open sprint race. So a 400 hurdles does not equate to a 400 success story. You have to have that flat speed, and you have to be able to show that.
I feel like this has to be the hardest double, like running a 400 and then running a 4 hurdles and then coming back and running a 400. That sounds so painful.
Yeah. Well, there's the argument for what the hardest event in track is, and some say it is the 400 hurdles. And, you know, the 400 is going to get you burning in the legs if you make any mistake. So you're going to be dealing with lactic acid 2 days in a row. But a very, very convincing win from Nielsen in this one. That was a very solid performance. And I mean, you got to think that she's going to be up there at least in the third place range for a $30,000 payday.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I don't think they showed it on the screen yet, but it looks like Anna Cockrell just lost the slam by 1 point, and then there's a tie between Leah Nelson and Anna Cockrell. So is that determined by like time or something that they're gonna make that tiebreaker?
I think the tie is gonna, yeah, first it would come from the overall.
400 that it's just not comfortable for them. Because in that latter part of the race, they usually think they have to hold a rhythm and jump over some hurdles. So coming into another slam, I'm sure she'll leave her up
It's
better
like
than this 400. But she did what you have to do today. Slam champ.
Slam champ, and a big win for Nielsen. That will move her up the overall rankings. I think she's going to finish third. We'll check all that in a second. 8 points for Jones. That's enough. That's good enough. Knight and Cockrell were the two she had to finish ahead of, or be cognizant of, and she did that brilliantly, as Anson said. So Jones wins with 16, Cockrell with 15. Because of the win from yesterday, she finishes ahead of Lena Nielsen.
2 battles so far in the 400. Great way to start it off.
Man, you looking at the results here. Anna Cockrell was 0.06 seconds behind Dalilah Muhammad in that 400. So she was, if she'd have been just slightly higher, she would have gotten that 100K.
I mean, it's huge. And I think I did was a PR. It's my first Open 4 ever. So just kind of come out and test myself and see where I was at. So I did big things. I'm proud of myself.
Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Well, I mentioned this place, and it's
A fire start though. Great to start opening races here.
closer look at this.
So we're officially going to be moving away from the 400s, and we are going to be moving towards the 800. And this is going to be, this was another one of those races. It looked like 4 or 5 people could win. Women's 800 from middle distance, short distance rather. We're following up a pretty fire 1500 yesterday when Jessica Hull and Del Teji from Ethiopia battled all the way down and broke 4. If you're running under 4 with no pacer and what seemed to be a huge negative split, I feel like you're definitely low 350 range in the 1500. They might even be close to world record fitness right now. They were moving. If you saw that women's 1500 yesterday, then you saw how fast they really were. But today is the 800, and everyone in this field is well under 2 minutes. Break down some of these racers. Who do you have taking what's likely to be a very close race?
It's tough to say because, okay, you got Mary Mora, who has like a 156 PR, and same with Georgia Hunter Bell. But then even Addison Wiley, I believe she's ran 157. So everyone in this field is pretty quick. And I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw in that 400, where like who won yesterday, well, tells you, obviously she's great, but Nikki Hiltz can beat them. So can you could say the same about Mary Morris. So it's hard to really pick who you think is gonna win this. I'm gonna put my money on Nikki Hiltz. That if I have to pick one, I think that they're gonna want to come back with some vengeance after yesterday. 4 flat for Nikki, which is great, but they love the 800 as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki gets up there and takes a W.
I like where your mind's at. I think there's some logic there. However, I think this is just, total speculation. I feel like Welteji, what she showed yesterday in that final 100 of the women's 15 was scary. She passes Jessica Hull, last year's silver medalist in Paris, like she was standing still. Welteji's face, no emotion, just supreme focus. Just supreme focus, and I think that's going to translate to the 800, unless she just completely ran herself into the ground and doesn't have much pop in her legs today. But I mean, Jess Hull, Georgia Hunter Bell, and also Nikki Hiltz. It's gonna be a fast one. I think we're looking something well under 800. From what we witnessed yesterday, I think that there's not going to be we're not going to go out in like a slow 200. We're going to go out and someone's going to be taking, an opening 200, 28.5. In fact, you can see right there, that's Welteji passing Jessica Hull, and just, you want to call it a poker face, you want to call it focus, whatever you want to say. She was moving.
Yeah, I mean, Itachi in the chat called out like Mary Moore ran like 425 yesterday. Was she really just, you get to a point they're running sub 4, you're just like, hey, I'm not gonna win this, So you just take yourself out the race and save it for the 800? Like,
I love the fact there's so much strategy to it. Maybe she
Yeah.
was just like, you know what, I'm going to get 7th, 8th. Let's save the legs. run a 420 something, which is honestly still quick, right? But she could be coming in today and drop a 157 and win by a second and a half. She is a world champion.
Yeah, you only could get so many points though. Like with only getting 2 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean,
mean,
it's
maybe you could get
yeah, who
third.
knows? Yeah, third or fourth. I mean, that's still what is that? 30,000,
Yeah,
20,000. It's not
it's still
bad.
decent. It's better.
I'll
Yeah, it's
take it.
better than what she's getting now.
I'll take it. I mean, I can't do what they're doing, but I'll take it. That'd be cool. All right, leave your predictions. Let's get a poll going. I'm gonna go. What do you think? Start a poll. One sub 159 or sub 2?
Let's say sub 159. I feel like we're gonna get sub 2
Yeah.
for sure. I feel like yeah.
Yeah, I like
We're
that. I like
50-50
that.
when we say that, but let's say what's up 159. Let's see.
All right. I'm gonna bet we're gonna have about 70% of people saying they're going under. That was around the expectations yesterday for a lot of the polls. Get some interaction. Yeah, so the next race is scheduled for just a few minutes. In fact, we are literally here. Take it back. Let's head to the track.
Usual break in the 800 meters. Normally we run one bend, as we will do here, and then there's a green line, and at that point they all break for the inside. Well, the thing is, lanes 1, 2, and 3 have to break for lane 4, because that's where the race is run in terms of the full distance. So once they've come to the green line, Addie Wiley started very quickly, moves out, whereas Mary Mora moves across. And actually, Addie Wiley hasn't yet quite got into lane 4. Neither's Nia Aikens.
Ooh, I like that.
Almost the whole of the home straight. Jess Hull struggling for a bit of pace, as you'd expect, because Mary Mora's taking this out nice and quick.
Well, I spoke to Nikki Hilt's coach, and Julie Benson said that Nikki has had an up and down last week. She stepped off doing some drills and tweaked their hamstring, and Nikki is working through that, but they're ready to run today and excited about it. But Addie Wiley coming back from Rabat, like you said, looking very sharp today.
Taking it on, going past Mary Mora. Well, Tenchi takes the invitation to follow. And then just behind Georgia Hunter-Bell in 4th place at the moment. Mary Mora had to relinquish the lead. She normally doesn't like doing that, loves to control from the front. But this is not over. Mora now coming back past Welteji, who just gets balked a little bit there. So Addie Wiley down the back straight, stretching it out. Jess Hull has got much closer now. The Australian, 1 of 5 in there. Nikki Holtz struggling. Mary Mora, Wiley, Welteji.
Wow, look at how Mora is going backwards just a little bit, but Hull is starting to go.
Jess Hull just gave Hunter-Bell a bit of a push or a nudge around that bend. Hunter-Bell starting to try and come back, but there's Welteji doing what she does best, hitting in the front and going away from them. But now Hunter-Bell forging down the home straight. Has she got enough time? Finish line is coming. Welteji is heading for the slam. She's going to make it 2 wins. Hunter-Bell just comes up short. Jess Hull, 3rd place behind. Welteji hung on there, just thought she might have gone there early. I really would like to have a little look at what happened with 200 to go, because just as you were talking, Carrie, Jess made a big move around Hunter-Bell, who lost ground, lost a good couple of meters and maybe a bit of momentum.
Well, it was
and had to
under
go
159.
wide, and then came
You got the most intelligent track fans in the world in the chat, and they knew it. Sub 159, 158.8, I believe. Man, over the first 400, I'm like, shoot, are they going to go 156? Because they were at 57.5. Addie Wiley taking the lead in the opening 4.
Welteji she's so good. She looks so relaxed again today, and was just too strong. They couldn't run her down. That was a crazy competitive race. I was definitely sitting on the edge of my seat. That last 150 was crazy. There were so many people in the race.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Teji's, she's one of them. That was a focused final 100, very well composed. And, I mean, you saw what happened yesterday in the 15. It's hard to ignore that might happen again, and that's exactly what we saw. So, undeniably, $100,000 for Welteji. Huge payday. Fantastic. And I'm curious to see who gets in the top 3 or 4. I'm sure Jess Hull is going to be probably second. She got second yesterday in the 15, and I believe third today in the 8. You know, Jess Hull is one of those people when you talk to her, you think, you know, she's just this small, you know, person. Her voice is very high pitched, and then she hits the track and just absolutely crushes. It's such a beautiful dichotomy, and she proved it again here, man. Going 159.1, I believe. Whew. 159.6, excuse me. So she was a little bit further behind Georgia Hunter Bell.
No,
Yeah, but
Georgia,
that
Georgia
opening
Hunter Bell was
four,
coming though. Georgia Hunter Bell, they were coming. They were right there.
yeah, it was a close one. That was just one of those races where there was not enough real estate to catch her at the end. But maybe if it was an 810-meter race, it would have been a different result. But it wasn't. This is an 800. So Welteji takes that win, 12 more points, $100,000. Yeah, how did Mora do?
Mora died. She went out tough, and it just felt like the last 150. She was starting to hurt a little bit.
She still went 2 flat .9, so she was under 201. I mean, that's a solid time considering she did crash over those final moments. Well, relatively crash. That's kind of an exaggeration. She hit a wall, wasn't able to close with everyone else, but still. Jessica Hull does pull out second place. There it is. Wow, that's close. So many placements are made up by just 1 point.
I mean, and yeah, for Mary Moore, 15K for 6th place for Mary Moore, still like that's still
I'll take it.
good.
Yeah, I mean, 2 days of work. Obviously, she's training throughout the year, but
This is where there are agents, managers, and former athletes in hospitality. Natasha Hastings is there. Just all enjoying. Just on the first bend, there's a section for all of the guests. We've got a great view of everything that's going on. The crowd has been phenomenal here at the place where, well, they know they get big crowds. They know their track and field.
Ah, so fun.
So
See, isn't it?
the 2-day double for Welteji, she goes 358 in the 1500 off of a negative split, and she goes 158.9 today in the 800. That's a solid 2-day event. That's warranting of $100,000. And now we're moving to the men's short hurdles. There's your boy Cordell Tench, 1287, world #1 right now in the 110 hurdles. But how can he convert that to the 100 is the question.
So that could well be something to watch out for here. Sadly,
I feel like that dude is just an athlete, knowing that he did all long jump and high jump. So I just feel like he got to be fast in the one.
Yeah, I wonder why his personal best. Let's take a look and see what we got. In the 100, his current PB is 1065. I'm sure he can go faster than that. But he does have a windy PB of 10.3. And we talked about this before the stream, but, you know, you don't have to have super impressive flat 100 speed to be a great hurdler. You just need to put together the hurdles, have good technique and good form. And I feel like a lot of these guys can get close to 10, but you're going to be more in the 12.2, 12.3 range. But they probably have been focusing more on the flat speed this year, so maybe they can get under that 12.2, 12.1. We'll see. All right, let's head to the track and get the call from Anson and Steve Cram.
yeah, looking forward to this. So basically, if Britt comes in the top 2, he wins.
Yes.
Previously on Grand Slam Track, men's short hurdles.
I feel like every time I say let's go to the track, we're going to have a setback where we go to a commercial break. So technically we're on a commercial break, but we're not because we're still here and we're still chatting. And while we're waiting for this race to unfold, it should be unfolding in a couple of minutes. Check out the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Again, this is what helps the streams survive. If you want to watch the one in Los Angeles, click on that stream, click on that link, check the blue boxes, and head over and click the blue links. Thank you all very much for any interaction with that. It really does help the stream go further into the year. So let's head back to the track. Looks like we're actually getting the call now.
Here, so the times could be quick. We'll have to watch out for the wind reading. Tinch not as quick as the guys who are looking to take the big slam prize here. Jamal Britt in particular. He was pretty close to Trey Cunningham in Miami anyway. And this time after the win and Cunningham coming third, he knows just top 2 probably good enough. No Roberts in 4th, sadly. Freddie Crittenham was 6th yesterday. And again on the flat, not as sharp as some of the other guys, including Cunningham in particular. That 10.17. He won both races in Miami. Was close here, but not close enough. He doesn't look happy there, does he? Go on, Trey, you can do it. Szymanski. It says here his personal best for 100 meters is 11.24. Doubt it.
You had a good laugh about that.
Eric Edwards Jr. on the outside. So we're going to be really watching here lanes 3 and 6. That's where we think, is this going to be won or lost?
Well, you know what? I think it's time for Cordell Tinch to bring this 100-meter time down, man.
You think?
10:65, I mean, it's time, Cordell. I think it's time. But Trey Cunningham would need Jamal Britt to come in 3rd place, which is a tall ask. I don't expect that to happen.
Yeah, and if that happened, then they would also it would come down to times. There's 0.1 exactly between them in the hurdles. So Cunningham, all he can do is try and win this, make sure he wins it. For Britt, who's a good starter normally. He's in lane 3, that empty lane next to him on his right. Tinch is in 2. Tinch actually got out pretty well, but not as good as Jamal Britt. Britt and Simonelli going well, and Trey Cunningham right in the middle. Cunningham might just have this in the moment. It's going to be close, but Cunningham moves away. 10:38. Not as quick as we saw in Miami. It's into a bit of a headwind, almost 2 meters per second. That's why it takes a 10th or so off everybody here at least. But we said he had to come in the top 2. He's done it by 200ths of a second. There's the slam champion, Jamal Britt. Cunningham did what he had to do. Wasn't going to look round to see what was happening behind him. But Britt had to get second there. It was only by 200ths because he was so far behind, because Cunningham would have won it on time.
Yeah. As I said, he had to
That
come in
wasn't
3rd
even
place.
close.
I didn't see that happening.
That was
but it actually a lot
I mean,
closer than I expected.
how much did he win that by? A full 10th? A 10th and a half?
Yeah.
Trey is fast. Oh yeah, he won that by 0.14 over Jamal Britt in 2nd. And to do that into a negative headwind of 1.9, that's probably closer to 10.2, 10.25. Be interested to look up that conversion, but yeah, Cordell just wasn't able to put that 100 together again. Again, you're looking at a headwind, kind of a slow track, 10:57. Technically, that's a PB, which is pretty funny because I'm sure he can go way faster, but he just doesn't race in the 100.
Those times were kind of nasty. Duplantis someone said Duplantis is faster than these guys. Hey, they had a headwind though. They had a headwind. Let's give them that.
Hey, Duplantis went 10:37, and technically, even the headwind, Trey went 10:36. Close, but yeah, I mean, Duplantis better be quick. That is the pole vaulting GOAT. I guess he doesn't have to be the greatest sprinter ever, but still, he got to get that speed to get up. But yeah, Trey is Trey's quick. Trey's quick with it. He was gone by like 40, 50 meters.
Well, yeah, and I think like that's the only way to compete with, like, because I feel like Grant is pushing to be under 10 if he was racing, so you got to be that fast, right?
Yeah, you gotta be moving. I know Grant is one of those like very versatile athletes, so he's just so athletic that he makes the hurdles work for him. But he does slow down over the final few because he's so powerful. But if he does get it right and times it right, that's when he's like nearly unbeatable. In fact, he's number 2 all time at 12:81. So yeah, that was another another payout. Trey with a pretty dominant win. He needed to get top 2 and got first by well over a 10th. So I'm sure Jamal Britt will get the 2nd place. So he gets 50,000.
Really, I'm just going to save. I'm unsponsored, so I'm going to save that money and use it to my advantage to continue to run in the sport. Because the past couple years has been a struggle just on trying to get treatment, and
Is
compete
that
at a high
Jamal
level
Britt
before
talking
they
right
go
now?
on
He's
to
saying that he's going to save the money because it's been tough to even compete.
Congratulations, Jamal. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Unsponsored.
Dang,
Crazy.
man. Like, yeah, I mean, that's a smart move. Like, you can invest in yourself. You don't have to go out and buy yourself a Rolex. I mean, if you want to, that's great. You can now, but for someone who's been unsponsored, knows the struggle, knows the challenges of just maintaining a roof over your head so you can do what you love. I mean, it's a mature move. It's a little tough to hear sometimes, but hey, you're getting payouts now, and it's great to see.
Put that money away, man. The tax man coming, and we
Yeah.
with the economy crazy out here in America for our international people watching. But yeah, you gotta save that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about Brandon Robinson. He died 8 years ago. He was more than a friend to me. He was basically like family. He looked at me and he was just like, there's nobody here that can make it as far as you can. You're capable of doing amazing things. Like, I do want you to take track seriously. After he died, I made a promise. So me running track right now is basically all because of him, to be honest.
Nugent right through the middle. It's going to be Akira Nugent. How far ahead? She wins it.
Track for me is fun because before you start getting paid, you just like running. People normally say when money get involved, people change. So I guess people change. But me, I'm gonna just be me and line up at the line.
Man, that's a touching story. That's the things that we need to hear is the stories, what's motivating people, who's been behind them, their support systems. It's great to learn more about each athlete that we get the pleasure to watch. And I mean, Nugent right now is favored to win this. She's the champion from yesterday. Well, not the champion, but the winner. And so I would imagine she needs to get top 2 to come away with this $100,000.
Akira Nugent has well, we can talk about Sydney first. Sydney obviously is coming in here to show what she could do. I said earlier in the show that Sydney is probably going to put something down on the clock. Maybe in the 10-second range. We'll see how the weather holds up. But with Akira Nugent, I've noticed...
Okay, yeah, next event. And it's a good idea to set up the next event so we're familiar with what's coming up. But next event is the Women's 100. And this is going to feature Sydney McLaughlin, the first 100 that she has raced since 2018. Imagine not racing an event for 7 years, coming back and being, the GOAT of the other event, and now you're getting like equal, if not more spotlight than a lot of the other athletes that are already world champions in their own right. So in this event, we have Sydney. There's Akira Nugent we just saw highlighted. She's coming in with a victory yesterday. Danielle Williams from Jamaica. Dejita Kambunji. There's Tia Jones, Christina Clemens, Tanya Marshall, and Megan Tapper. And it looks like we have some impressive PRs in here. We haven't had anyone break 11 in this event, but that makes sense because these are very dominant hurdlers. Again, they're not trying to throw down a 10-8, 10-9. They don't need to. They're doing their hurdle stuff. But let's do another poll. Let's see what we got. Let's call it an 11-1, shall we? Seems appropriate. It looks like they're running into a slight headwind.
Yeah, I don't know. With this headwind, I feel like we're gonna see like 11-3 or something. I think that's a good over-under.
Yeah, it could be 11-1, 11-2. We didn't see anyone go under. Well, actually, someone did go under 159 in the 8.
Yeah.
Didn't see any. It didn't put a poll up for the men's 100, but I'm pretty confident I would have gone under 10.36. So I mean, we'll see. 11-1.
Long time ago, Akira Nugent in the box seat. 23-year-old. 11:09 in Miami.
Part of me thinks that Sydney is just going to show up and run like a 10-8 and then somehow be favored in the 100. Like, her versatility is so outrageous. She's going to be one of those few female athletes that goes like sub 11 in the 100, sub 22 in the 2, and sub 49 in the 4. I think there's been like 5 or 6 of them ever. but it's been a minute since that's happened. I highly doubt, given the headwind and the fact she raced yesterday, she's going sub 11. It would actually surprise me if anyone goes sub 11 here. They're all hurdlers, but you never know. You just stay tuned. Let's head to the track.
We know that. Sydney, we don't know. She was 5th, but this is a clean slate for her, I'm sure. She's just going to go for this. Megan Tapper will be sharp out of the blocks. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone will be well aware of that. Akira Nugent can start well also.
You know, there's something about winning the slam and winning both races. And I think Akira Nugent will want to be able to do that.
First and second in Miami, won the slam. Can she win both here? Tapper does get out well, but so does Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. And if anything, she's just in the lead at the moment. But there goes Akira Nugent. Starts to pull away from Sydney. It's going to be Akira Nugent slam! 11-1-2.
Yeah, she can run, man.
That is quick. We saw that the men had a slight headwind. This was almost a flat wind in this one. So the 11-11 it's been taken down to. And hey, Sydney did well. 11-21. And then Kambunji coming through with a new personal best for 3rd. Just for 30, 40 meters.
Yeah.
You thought, is she going to hold her? But away she went.
Akira Nugent can run, man. She, the way she broke away from the field in the middle of the race was very, very impressive. Like I said, she's able to open her stride up in the 100 like most short hurdlers can't. And 11-12 in this weather is actually very, very good. Possibly close to a 10-second race in really good conditions and a favorable win. She had no win in that race. Sydney, I'm sure, is happy with that race, coming in 2nd place. But out of the blocks, Akira Nugent does hold a very good position out of the blocks. And what I like about her is once she transitions out of her dry face, she locks into a really good position, running-wise. Her legs come up under her very, very well, and she's able to maintain form through the latter part of the race. Sydney actually had a solid run, pulled away from the rest of the field as well. Probably popped up a lot earlier than she should have. That's a common mistake for most people who don't run the 100 much. You could see Nugent actually hold her dry phase a little bit longer, and it actually helped her come out of it and move into her top speed a lot better than Sydney. So big technical difference. Akira Nugent getting a liking for this 100, I think.
Well, you know, when she's on top of her game, isn't she?
She
is.
It's
so unfortunate at the Olympics last year, and I said she won a medal at the World Indoors behind Tanji and Devon Charles. But I think outdoors, it's, you know, this could be her year. This could be her year. In one of the world's toughest events, women's 100 hurdles.
Yep.
You know,
Looks like that 11-1 was the mark. And we did include the wind in that prediction. That was I mean,
Akira Nugent, dominant performance back-to-back. Sydney looked good, too. Sydney looked good.
Sydney definitely looked good. Considering a lot of people are saying she would have gone sub 11 with any positive headwind, I think it would have been close. I don't know if it would have cut off 0.2, but with like a positive 1.5 or above, she would probably be right there. That was a new personal best for Sydney by about, what would that be? 0.3? What was her previous? No. That was a PR because he literally hasn't run one since probably high school, so that one didn't count. And that was with a negative win. So
like
Sydney getting 2nd. Wow.
Damn.
Getting that 50,000, dropping down to the short sprints and the short hurdles with the specialists, and still pulls out a big payday. But there was no beating Akira Nugent today. That was just not going to happen.
No, not at all. But Track Monkey said it in the chat. Is this her, you know, her and Bobby Kersey's strategy to get her on a 4x1? Get her to rack up a couple medals? I don't know.
I think that's a stretch. She would really have to get some extra speed in that 4x1, but I mean it's an interesting theory. I think she's definitely going to be on 4x4. That would be shocking if she wasn't, but 4x1, I mean, look at the athletes that you're going to have to compete against. You're going to have to take down.
Crazy.
4x1 is just goated. You know, we're closing in on some really ridiculous times, and Sha'Carri and Tanisha Terry and Melissa Jefferson. I mean, the U.S. when it comes to a 4x1 on the women's side is just super deep. Shout out to the crowd. There's some serious energy going on as we got the men's 3,000 meters warming up now, and I am pumped to see this. So many interesting storylines clashing. We have Grant Fisher coming in off of a fresh indoor world record, by the way. It's 7:22. My goodness.
Grant Fisher's been on fire this year. Like, he's really, after getting 2 medals at the Olympics, I feel like his confidence is just at a whole nother level now, and he's ready to take that step to be not just a silver and bronze medalist, but a gold. Like, he's here.
Yeah, I think Grant mentally is just above 99.9% of people. I mean, he's a Stanford graduate, so you would expect some mental tenacity, but he is able to close with the best in the world. His kick right now is super elite. And so when you got his strength, when you've got his, mental racing strategies, his racing acumen, and you can close in, I don't know, 26.5, 26 for a final 200, you're a dangerous man.
Very good Americans, Graham Blank, Sam Gilman.
So yeah, let's take a look at that full field here. Men's 3,000. Grant Fisher, Kai Robinson, Graham Blanks, Sam Gilman, Ronald Quemoy, Nico Young, Edwin Kurgat, and Andrew Koskinen. Honestly, wait, it's saying DNS for Grant? Is he not starting? I thought I just saw him warming up. We'll have to listen in and see if he's not racing.
Remember how slow that race was? It was a tactical race, 8:17. That was a race which was all about the last 200 meters or so. But Kai Robinson, well, a lot of these guys know each other very well. Yeah, they'll be nervous.
Previously on Grand Slam track, men's long distance.
The tape is stretched out in front of them. Who's going to breast it? Koskinen, he gets it! Grant Fisher, he is one of the best in the world. One last look round for Fisher. Now he can wave to the crowd. This has been absolutely emphatic. The slam winner, Grant Fisher.
Now, in terms of distance running, there is an upcoming 5,000 meter world record attempt. And I believe that's including Yomif Kejelcha and Agos Gebrewet, who is in this race as Gebrewet. So we'll see if that's able to be achieved. It's in an upcoming Diamond League event, but leave your thoughts down below. I'm not going to do any time predictions here. It's going to be likely tactical. Yeah, unfortunately, Grant is a DNS. Unfortunate. I hope he's okay, but that honestly leaves this field wide open. I'm interested to see if we're going to see any tactics on pacing early on. Maybe some, 2 athletes are going to agree to shift on the pacing so that they can actually get a good time, because we did not see a fast time in that 5,000 in Kingston.
If I had to pick a dark horse in this race, I put it on Edwin Kurgat. I feel like this dude is...
Kurgat's a good guess. I'm feeling Koskinen's gonna be positioning himself to really get on over that final 200. The man can kick like a beast. And I mean, I'm curious to see what Nico Young can do. He's thrown down some really good times in the past couple of years. Sub 13 indoors. All right, let's head to the track and get some sights and sounds.
All right, and Carrie, you know some of these American athletes so well, and we were thinking, with Grant Fisher in here, we saw him run in the 5,000 in Miami, a 4-minute mile of the last 4 laps. Was he going to do something similar? He's not here now. So what does that do for everybody's headspace?
Well, I mean, I think it does change the race up a little bit. A lot of people are looking to see what Grant Fisher is going to do, but this is what Graham Blank said, now a championship-style race, because there isn't a second race for them, or there wasn't one yesterday. So a lot of them are just coming in to get some experience and to really see who can win that $50,000 prize purse. But yeah, Quemoy, we've seen him race here at the Grand Slam. He's up and down, he likes to lead, he likes to sit. He is a man, though, that you can never overlook. He's a silver medalist from the 5,000 meters last summer.
He is, and as I mentioned, remember a few years ago commentating on him when he burst onto the scene as a 1,500 meter runner. He looked like the next big thing for Kenya. He came through, though, the same time as the likes of Timothy Chariot, and just, I think, took the decision, I'm going to go longer, and he's done it to great effect. So he's obviously decided, my experience in Grand Slams so far has not been good. Slow races, not good for me. So here we go. He's at least got them moving at not a crazy pace, but at least a bit of pace on early.
Well, Kai Robinson in second place there was third indoors just a few months ago, and he is having a great year. He ran a PB last week in the 5,000 meters, ran 13:05, but was upset because he didn't get the world championship standard. So he's running with a little chip on his shoulder maybe right now. But yeah, just a great athlete coming out of the NCAAs, now training under Dathan Ritzenheim in Boulder.
He had to go home. I mean, apart from
So the pace is decent here.
disappointment, he
You know,
then went on to
I was
the national
expecting we're going to do like
championship. It was a
68, 69 second laps, but we went through 463. It seems to be maintaining, if not slowing down slightly. Looks like Quimoy might be interested in someone else taking the lead, but Kai Robinson is not interested in that at all. But we got 7.5 laps here, so I wanted to take a minute to, you know, talk about the 3,000 and what to expect from the 7.5 lap race. It is dangerous to be pushing the pace up front like that. Even if you are going a little slower, you're breaking the wind for everyone else. And so, yeah, we've definitely slowed down. We went through 800 and 211, so we went 63, 68. The tactics are undeniably going to be making this a little bit slower. But I would still imagine we're going to be around, if not slightly under 8 minutes. It looks like we're not going to let the pace lag too much, but Graham Blanks looks smooth. Nico's relaxing. Koskinen in the back is looking smooth as well. Kai Robinson always looks smooth with it. And Edwin Kurgat looks like Edwin might be, you know, just pacing himself for a good kick. We'll see.
Behind Hob Kessler and Wanyoni, Emmanuel Wanyoni, who we've seen run here at the Grand Slam. But I think you got to watch Nico Young. He's just sort of watching what people are doing. He ran the Olympic Games last year. He's really coming into his own at a young age of 23.
Sam Gilman towards the back. He's a good 1,500-meter runner. You know, he might be very happy with this pace at the moment. Not, again, just, you got to be patient, you know. But what I always love about distance runners, which I always find is interesting, as Koskinen just begins to move up, they all think they can kick, and they can't.
Yeah, well, Gilman knows.
Everybody thinks they can.
They all do, but Gilman knows how to kick, and you said it. He's a great 1,500-meter runner, but he had some experience indoors to the World Champs. He was right behind Kai Robinson, right off the podium, finishing fourth there. So he's got that hunger. He told me he wants to race here. He was excited to get the call last minute. He only got the call on Tuesday, but he said, I wanted to get in here and to run and to show that he belongs.
Really slow through the first 1,000 meters after looked as though it was going to at least be a reasonable pace, but they've slowed right down. That's why they're all gathered. Everybody on the back straight here just rising to cheer them on. But this is now going to again break out into a sprint over the last couple of laps, and we saw what happened in Miami. Surely they know Koskinen's the danger there.
Well, a lot of these guys are 5,000-meter specialists coming down to that 3K, but this race is so important to learn how to race, to get that long burn that is almost like the long 1,500-meter burn, to be able to then go to the 5,000 and really be able to handle a change of pace or a hard last mile. And I love that they're here racing. Andrew Koskinen, probably one of the best 1,500-meter runners in the field. He's now finding himself up even closer to the lead than he was in Miami, and he had a great race there.
So he has that confidence, you know. He's a different athlete, so he certainly had Quemoy against him, but he's got a different field here, so his confidence is not as high as perhaps it should be. If he knew it was exactly the same guys. And you know what, Edwin Kurgat thinks, I'm not just going to let that happen. And Nico Young moving up in the red from the back as well, trying to cover that move from Kurgat. Smart move, and all of a sudden things start moving.
All right, yeah, things are officially heating up with under 800 to go now, I believe, right? We're closing in on this finish. We're a little over 800 to go. We're closing in on 60, 61 second laps, and Kai Robinson taking the lead here is very interesting. So I am not expecting a super fast time, but I am very excited to see how this final 800 plays out. So let's check it out, ladies and gentlemen.
to see this now injection of pace to see what's going to happen. Kai Robinson is no slouch when it comes to finishing and finishing fast. He's gritty, he's smart, he's also very savvy, and you know that when Nico made that young, Kai thought, I got to do something here as well.
2 laps to go.
This
Kai
is
Robinson
reminiscent of,
leads.
like,
Nico Young
NCAAs a
in
couple years
second
ago
place.
when Kai and
Kurgat of
Nico just
Kenya
leading.
then behind him. Koskinen just moved back into 4th place. Then we've got Quemoy moving up on the outside, making a big move is Graham Blanks as well. Gilman has got a good 1500-meter kick, is just sitting and watching at the back. And Robinson's there to be shot at, 600 meters left.
This is smart. This is what Graham Blanks needs to do. He needs to keep moving up. He's got that long distance. He's just run a 10,000 meters this summer, or this early spring. He looked good there, but can he wind it up? And it looks like he's trying to get in position, but Koskinen keeps fighting him off. And Kai Robinson is still putting the hurt on.
He's got to do this because he's committed now. He can't back off. He's in the front. He's got to keep as much pressure on as he can, but I don't think it's strong enough. I don't think it's good enough. I don't think it's fast enough. Nico Young is there. And a little elbow there from Koskinen trying to protect his position from Blanks. Look at Gilman, keeps running into traffic. Kurgat stuck on the curb.
Quemoy, watch Quemoy going way out to lane 3 almost. And he is moving hard. He is moving great, but Graham Blanks, wow, look at him come.
Still can't get around Koskinen. He's holding that position on the shoulder of Kai Robinson. Robinson still in front. Nico Young on the curb. Gilman checks in again. He's got a lot of traffic to get past, as Quemoy has as well. Gilman's getting closer, but Koskinen is there. Young is there. Young is the first to attack. Koskinen says, who's that? He goes to chase. He can't. Nico Young's away, and he's gone. Gilman chasing from a back position, gets through the second. Nico Young takes the slam. Gilman second. Robinson along for third. Patience,
Bro,
skill,
did you expect
speed.
Nico Young was about to drop one of the fastest laps I've seen him run ever? Nico Young just slammed that. No pun intended. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he looked super strong the last 200, standing upright, swinging his arms. He just overpowered them.
Dang. Wow. That was impressive. I think that's a 55 final lap because they went through 750. No. 805, 806 with 1 lap to go. Unreal. Did not expect that. I've seen Nico kick pretty well before, but I have never seen him kick quite that dominantly. Whew.
He covers what the energy is. Look at this powerful last 75 meters. I mean, it is just all arms, all legs. He said he's had a fantastic last 2 months of training. He is so excited to be here at Grand Slam, and I am
$50,000 for Nico Young.
He put the surge on mid-race.
All right,
held on to it, snuck back
to
in,
everyone
and
mentioning the
look at this
Discord
power.
notifications, we're turning them off.
Kai Robinson really going forward as well there, but Nico Young, wow, he had a lot left in him.
What I liked about that, as I said, is just staying
After that
patient.
one.
You know, you be ready to cover the moves. He knew that probably Koskinen, he knew what he's done before, but then he thought, I can't wait anymore, I've got to go now. Because he went then, Gilman was too far back. Gilman was charging down the home straight, but Young's away and he's gone. Well done to him.
Well, and well done to Gilman, like you said. I mean, he's really having a whole new surge of, I guess, racing. I mean, we're just really seeing him come into his own, and he looked great today as well.
So just the one race in the long distance slam. 12 points and the $50,000 goes to Nico Young. Good day for him. Gilman popping up for second ahead of Kai Robinson. Koskinen this time having to settle for 4th place. Let's confirm all of that. These guys know each other so well, racing each other over longer distances. Young, though, showing that he's got the pace and the kick this time.
Nico Young, your outdoor season opener, your Grand Slam track debut. You've just won the Slam. How are you feeling?
I feel fantastic. I want to say thank you to Grand Slam for bringing me out here. Spectacular event. It was so fun.
Not just the what, but the how. The mid-race surge, the strength at the end, you must have been so proud with how you performed.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't raced in a decent amount of time now, so this was a great first race of my real outdoor season.
And the nature of your event, it's one and done, 50K in the bag, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Man.
53-7.
Okay, I'm just going to mention it. I don't know where the Discord notifications are coming from, but I'm going to silence them. They're silenced on my end, so apologies. We're screen sharing and watching this. We're going to try to silence them. Okay, but women's 400, or not 400, this is the 200 coming up next. So this is, again, your Nasser versus Paulino. We're also got Nikisha Price, Alexis Holmes, Isabella Whitaker, Charlene Maudsley, Jessica Gabay, and Levi Nielsen. So we have... Yesterday, unfortunately, Eden Nasser got disqualified for going in on her inside lane, and, I mean, that's definitely going to cause a huge disruption in her potential earnings here. You hate to see it, and, I mean, it is noteworthy to mention that the track here is a little bit different than a lot of other tracks. You have that inside bar in lane, I believe it's lane 3 to 4, and they're actually showing the replay right here coming down the home stretch. But a lot of people pointed out she did not impede anyone, so was this necessary to DQ her? It's such a huge cut from a payday. What do you guys think?
Dang, she was all up in that lane. I did not realize it was that bad.
Yeah, I didn't either. But she was literally completely out of her lane, and you hate to see it.
Yeah. It's tough, but you can't be doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, she is the third fastest 400 athlete of all time, 48.14. But no matter what experience, no matter what personal bests you have, no matter what Asian records you hold, you can't run on the inside lane. It's just one of the rules, and you got to follow the rules. But maybe there's an exception to be made. Maybe just give her half the points because she did not impede anyone. But hey.
You would. But the thing about this track, it's
That's true. McCatchy makes a good point. Technically, she did cut towards the inside, and that cut off a total amount of distance. If she had run on an outside lane, maybe the story would be different, but that's not what happened.
We like to add a little bit of drama, don't we?
Well, we do, and but in terms of this event, the 200. I mean, Jessica Gabay's a pretty good 200-meter runner, but didn't go so well in the flat. Nikisha Price on the outside was second to Paulino because of the disqualification.
Okay. Right. So if she is able to win this 200, then we have an interesting state of affairs if Nikisha Price is able to win this 200. Best lane, arguably, here at Franklin.
Sure.
And some drama.
Drama indeed to come. So can Paulino take the slam title? Can Nasser redeem herself?
Previously on Grand Slam track, women's long sprints.
This is going to be close, this one. Nasser's half a meter. Paulino's starting to pull her back. Nikisha Price still going well. And Paulino finds an extra gear and off she goes.
So you gotta look at the personal bests in the 200 of the athletes running here. Paulino has a 22.3. That's quick. They might be able to get close to that 22, maybe a little above 22, but we'll put a poll in there and we'll get some interaction from you guys.
And we've seen the nuances of this track. Not always the fastest on paper going to come out on top here. Nasser will want to find a big performance here after that disqualification yesterday. 22.45 is our best. It was not too far away from that in Miami, where she was second in this event to Marilady Paulino, the Olympic 400-meter champion, world champion as well, and a very good 200-meter runner. Alexis Holmes, silver medal of the world indoors in the 400, and ran a personal best in this event, although 200 not as proficient an event for her, or her skills perhaps more in the longer sprint. Gabay, though, the opposite perhaps. 22.36 is her best, and be interesting to see whether she can get in the mix from lane 4. Bella Whitaker was third, And I think she's running very well indeed, and again a chance of improving her best in the 200 meters as she did in Miami. Now the Irish athlete Charlene Maudsley is going to be in lane 2, going to be tricky on the inside. She was 5th in the 400. Bit of a disappointing run for the other twin. We've seen Lena Nielsen win over 1 lap today, and Lavia, who is a 400 meter specialist, in lane 1 here in the 200 meters in the long sprints. Going to be pretty happy her sister did well, but she'll want to run a good race here. However, on the outside is where we think the slam is going to end up. Paulino's in 6. Price right on the outside here. And there's a former Olympic champion, Gwen Torrance, watching on.
So in the case of a tie break, if Nikisha Price is able to win this race, she'd have to win by 0.92 seconds.
Big ask.
Big ask.
Starts marksman, just checking Alexis Holmes in 5.
Set.
Holmes almost made a false start there. She gets away with it, and then going well just inside her is Jessica Gabay. As we'd expected, Paulino running a good bend here. It's Gabay, Nikisha Price in this El Nasser. Also close, but Gabay's just going to have to give this one away because Paulino is striding away from everybody else. She's just so quick, so strong. Paulino takes the win again. 22:47. Wins the 400, wins the 200, slam champion, Paulino again. Kind of just kept it intact round the bend and then unleashed into the home straight, moved away from everybody else. Whittaker did come through to nick 2nd place, and that'll be good for her, because that will mean she'll finish 2nd overall with that performance. So Whittaker 2nd in this one and 2nd in the slam, but no doubt about our winner.
So much for drama. No, but you know, I actually want to rescind my comment about her having struggles on the turn. She was clearly ahead off of the turn, and if she's ahead off the turn, none of these women are going to catch her.
Spam the Dominican Republic flags, everyone. I am so impressed by how strong she looked in that 200. I think she's on pace to be the 3rd athlete to get under 48 this year in the 400. She looks that good and that composed, and get her in the right race at the right time. I think she's going to hit a 47.99.
Yeah, especially, yeah, get her in that race where she's really being pressed. Like, that's going to bring the best out of her.
And maybe, just maybe in this upcoming season here, Nasser is going to take this and be very upset about it. She gets DQ'd. She doesn't quite find her form to challenge Paulino in the 200. And she's a 48-1 runner as well in the 400. So, I mean, if you get them two in the right race at the right time and the right fitness, they could push each other to get potentially sub 48. Joining Marita Koch and Kratochvilova on that all-time list. And no one's gone under 48 since the 1980s. And take that information and run with it how you will. But Paulino looking strong, looking very, very impressive in the 200. And if you're gonna be looking to go sub 48 in that 400, you need to be right at 22-1 for the 200 at the slowest. So Paulino pretty dominantly wins the $100,000, and Isabel Whittaker gets 2nd in this and brings home $50K. And you know, you hate to see Nasser only getting 7th, but that DQ definitely took her way down.
Bella, you are back at home. You're a Penn graduate. Spent a lot of time here. Talk about what it means to come to Grand Slam, get 2nd, and essentially what's a homecoming.
Yeah, no, it's a great homecoming, and I'm really grateful to be here.
By the
and,
way,
you know, it's kind of fun
we
to come
are
back as sort of
entering
an older, wiser version
what
of
might
myself.
be the greatest 4-race stretch out of this entire meet, in my opinion. We're gonna end 4 races, absolute fire showdowns. Men's 200, men's 1500, with all the medalists from last year's Olympics. Women's 100, and then the men's 100. I mean, these are the premier events. This is what everyone looks forward to every year. So we are entering some red-hot races. Stick around, because it's about to get fast. Like, I'm thinking the times are you know, they're just not quite at that super quick standard that we're used to seeing, but that's okay. There is a possibility we'll see one, but we're gonna get some big names out here.
Itself up very nicely, doesn't it? Another 100,000 there, but well done, Whitaker. Having a good year.
I'm excited for this women's 100. I think Melissa's gonna run. Melissa Jefferson would, and I think she's gonna run something fast. She looked on fire in the 2 yesterday, and she's just been on fire the whole year. I'm excited to see what she's gonna do.
And hopefully we can get some favorable winds. It's been a headwind all day, but maybe the wind guides can chill, give us some neutral, maybe some positives. That'd be great, but if not, we're gonna, yeah, I'm gonna add in the chat one more time the remaining races so that y'all can find it easily. Look forward to your favorite events.
Much more fresh, much more fresher, much more fresh. I go with either. I don't mind.
All right, good. Then the majority of these gentlemen.
Yeah, Jareem Richards just looked a little bit out of sorts in that 400.
Didn't look comfortable.
He
no.
didn't. No.
And coming into today after a 400, he does have a huge PR in comparison with the majority of these men, aside from Ogando. But I don't think he's going to have the pop because of the 400 yesterday.
Well, he and Ogando had a great race, didn't they? 0.02 of a second separated them in Miami. Ogando's going to be lane 4 here. Had a tough lane.
So good news. That women's 200 actually was a favorable wind. That was a positive 1.6. So we could be looking towards favorable winds over the final four events. Because we do have the 200 followed by the 1500 won't be necessary.
Gets back to what we expect and does win.
So yeah,
he has to be at least second.
This men's 200 got some big names coming in, and this is the Jareem Richards Ogando matchup that we saw in Miami. They both went well under 20 seconds. They both went 19.8. So a sub 20 is possible. Based on what we've seen, it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. It doesn't seem like the fast times are really gonna come in today, but it might. Let's do a poll.
The Olympic silver medalist on the outside. He won the 200 when winning the slam in Kingston. Said in Miami I had a bit of a hamstring issue.
Yeah, this 200 has some big talent here. I think if Jareem Richards and Ogando find themselves coming off the turn quickly and the wind's favorable, we're going to be looking at another sub 20. And don't forget that Stephen Gardner is a 19.7 guy. Granted, that happened a few years ago, but when he's got that timing right, he's fast. So
brilliant in Miami. 200 in particular, where he had such a good race with Ogando. Will it be the same here? Does he win the 200 here? Lane 6 for him. Now Samakonga, this fast finishing man at 400 meters. The 200 still kind of working his way through it for me, but he did run a new personal best in Miami 2023. It was a national record for Alex Ogando. He's coached by the great Felix Sanchez. And in lane 4 in this 200, we'll be able to see everybody outside of him. Matthew Bowling, can he get involved? Sub 22nd man at this event. 5th in the 400. Then in the tricky lanes in 2 and 1, Javon Powell. A little disappointing performance for him yesterday, but he's not about 200 man, 2021 last year. And then Khaled McRae, who in lane 2, as others were faltering in the home straight, stayed strong and got a big 8 points in second place. So let's just remind ourselves, Hudson Smith comes top 2, he pretty much wins, you think. Gardner is not involved, so then we look to Jareem Richards in lane 6. He will hope that he manages to take this one and Will Ogando get in there and mess things up? Will Hudson Smith be better at the 200 than we saw in Miami when he was carrying a little bit of a niggle, he said?
Well, Ogando had an absolutely nasty turn in Miami, and this is a turn-friendly track. He has a real shot at this 200.
Hudson Smith in 8, Richards in 6.
Set.
Pretty good start from Hudson Smith, although Gardner got out sharply as well, so did Richards. And Ogando's going well in lane 4. He may well just take the lead into the home straight, but it's going to be tight. Richards right there with him. It's Ogando, Richards pulling away. Hudson Smith with a lot of work to do. But look at Ogando go! He's gone! Ogando wins it! 20.14. Richards second, Gardner third. Matt Hudson Smith waves goodbye to the slam. Ogando 20.13, takes the win in the 200, but it'll be Richards who takes the big prize. Gardner, that was a good run from him to pop up. Hudson Smith just never got going around that bend, and the others were away and gone. But
So yeah, Ogando
for
just
me,
absolutely
Richards
slammed that opening 100,
looking quite as good
and the
as he
final
did.
100 was game over. You thought that he and Dream Richards were going to be up in the lead, and they were, but man, I didn't think he would win by 3/10 or 2/10 rather. A lot of people are mentioning that that was significantly slower than what we saw in Miami, which is true, and that, if anything, shows you how much Kenny Bednarek really dominated by. Yeah, who won this? That's the question right now. Not sure who exactly took that first place. $100,000 because Hudson Smith won yesterday. He got 4th here. Excuse me, Hudson Smith got 5th. It's going to be close. That's what's cool about these matchups. There's a lot of people in contention based on both events. You need to do well in both to take that victory, but shout out to Steven Gardner for getting 3rd, by the way. 20.49. Yeah, Gardner definitely did better than I thought he would do there.
And he looks like he was hurting like yesterday a little bit, but he came back strong today. Taking 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see who gets that 100,000. Cranking out the math. We'll get those numbers right over to you.
And held on for the victory.
So the Brits love 5th place, you know. Remember Josh Kerr was 5th in the 800 and won the slam.
Yep.
Hudson Smith, 5th place, good enough, 4 points. That 12 points to get for the win is big.
Got to get those, man.
Yeah. So the win then for Ogando.
Hudson Smith.
Hudson Smith thought,
Oh
well,
man, look at
just by
that.
1 point. 1 point. Get up there.
Just 2 points separating the top 3. Hudson Smith with 100,000. Shows you how much those 12 points really can influence. Takes 1st yesterday in the 400 and takes 5th today. So he came away with 100,000. I believe it was Ogando in 2nd and Jareem Richards in 3rd. A lot of chat was saying Jareem won, but not quite.
The last time I did the 200 in Miami, I put my hamstring. This one, my coach told me to be safe and get round. I got round and got 100K, so I can't complain.
So as you're running the 200, you have the hamstring in the back of your mind. What's going through your mind as you come up on the home stretch?
Just get to the line as safely as possible. It's a long year. Running 2 high-quality races back-to-back is tough on the body, but we're dealing with it the best we can, and we just keep going.
Congratulations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're closing in on the final 3 events, and up next, we are going to get that big matchup following up yesterday's 800, men's 15. Let's listen in on Yared's story real quick, shall we?
Super talkative person or extroverted person growing up. I was kind of recruited by my track coach after the PE coach told him about me because I would always just run the mile like as fast as I could in PE. You'd run this mile for a grade and there's this McDonald's a block down the road. And so I was kind of just like, well, I should run as fast as I can and get there first before everyone else. Then I can be just chilling and eating McDonald's while everyone is in line. Kind of kept racing, kept getting better and enjoying it more than I really ever thought I could enjoy a sport because I am just not a sporty person. but I decide, you know, as long as I get a good balance of academics and athletics, that I can make that happen. Throughout my college running career, I would always say, like, I'm doing school above everything. Like, running is important to me, but it was always going to be second. However, I was able to win the 1500 in the DMR my sophomore year of college. It kind of felt like, you know, the first steps to something bigger. I never thought I'd go to the Olympics, much less be an athlete this good in general.
It's Nuguse. This is still anybody's race.
My family, my friends, my boyfriend, all just very, very supportive of just, you know, how good I was. And, you know, even at times, you know, the best of people can kind of forget. I like to think that most of us do this because we take real enjoyment from the sport. There's a way to be chill and still win. I think that's something I want to prove this year.
Yeah, chill and still win, and he's going to be chilled today. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Yared. Everybody knows. Can he get himself the best birthday present? We're going to see very, very shortly. Incredibly competitive as ever, this men's short distance. Lots of different things can happen, but he set it up beautifully for himself with a third place in the 800 meters yesterday. But watch out for Josh Hoey.
So again,
very good
this
at
is going to be the
800 as well.
1500 guys wanting to silence the 800 guys, because Marco Arop took yesterday's win pretty dominantly, and Hoey came in second, and he's this year's indoor 800 champion. So Cole Hawker, Josh Kerr, Yared Nuguse, and even Hobbs Kessler, they've got to be thinking they've got to go fast. So we might see a quick time here. We saw a sub-4 on the women's side in the 15. Will we see 3:33, 3:32 even, perhaps? Let's get a poll going.
Man, you're right. Like, Cole and Josh kind of got destroyed yesterday.
Yeah, I don't even know where they finished.
Yeah.
Yared low-key got a solid 800 time. He's a 144 guy now, faster than Hawker. But will the man on his birthday bring out the W? We actually saw Masalala from Botswana, who ran a 142 on his birthday, take the win. So maybe there's some birthday magic in the air. Yeah, 3:33 seems to be the time to look for. We got a 51% no right now, split right down the middle. I love where they start. It's so you just don't see this anywhere.
It's good at 1500 meters as well. The Olympic champion, but you know he's had 5 1500 meter races since winning the Olympics, has not won one of them. Can he change that here? Really interesting man. This is Sam Chappell from the Netherlands, British father, Spanish mother, and had a great indoor season and is very good at 1500 as well. Probably not in the class of some of these guys though, including Nuguse. Happy birthday, Yared. Hope it's a good one. Now, can Hobbs Kessler kind of change things up here? Was fourth in the 800, and well, he knows all these guys all know each other so well. Was at the Olympics with his two famous teammates here. What can Josh Kerr get back to winning ways in the 1500 meters? He did it in Miami, the world champion, reigning world champion. Again, was fifth in the 800, and that was enough, and we've just seen it. Fifth and 12.
Making a pre-race prediction, Cole Hawker takes his first win since the Olympics here.
I can see it, man. He needs a W.
As they say here in Philadelphia, because that 1500 meter starts right at the bottom of the back straight. So Carrie, look at this leader. You wouldn't expect that.
No, I'm not. I am surprised to see Marco Arop out there, but he said yesterday after that race he wants this win. You know, he's been close at the slams and he's getting more confident and excited every single time he does this longer event. But Yared Nuguse always finding himself up in there, right close to that lead.
Here comes Cole. He's not going to let this pace lag. There he is.
This is the guy that we know. He's probably sick of where he's been finishing, and he wants to be up front.
It's tough though, because if you're taking the lead like this, you're expending a lot of energy. But we'll see how the tactics play out. This is looking to be fairly quick though, so let's go.
Nuguse follows. Hoey is there. Kessler just tucked on the inside. Then Elliott, Josh Kerr right at the back. Not interested at this point. Sam Chappell alongside him in the dark strip. coming through. That was not a particularly fast first 400 meters, but it wasn't slow, 57-ish, something like that. And that's a decent pace. So Hocker has got different tactics here. Remember, we saw this kind of with Jess Hull in the women's 1500 meters yesterday. She thought, well, let's change this up.
Yep, let's change it up. And you know, I think that he knows that Cole Hocker knows there's guys in this race that can kick, so he has to be able to draw that out just a little bit. Naguse can kick though, and he is a 1500 meter specialist. Here are our top three from the Olympic Games right here, with Kerr moving up into third there. But Josh Hoey, that is the guy that I think a lot of people have question marks on, in particular in this event. He's so good over 800 meters. He was a superstar in high school. Everyone here in Philly knows him. He's had some coaching changes, I think 5 coaching changes. He's been through a lot, but I think a lot of people are wondering, what can that man do? Look at Marco Arop, though, answering every little surge, every little move. This is what he needs to do to get himself into the front and on the top of the Grand Slam.
He went through 800 and 156. That was all down to Cole Hocker, the Olympic champion. Naguse, his teammate, on his shoulder. Rob, the Canadian, this is not his event, but he's looking good at the moment. Josh Kerr made the big move to get involved because he didn't want Hocker or anyone else to jump off the front, and maybe Hoey fancies it. They're coming down this time. It'll be the bell. Everybody's still in with a chance. Hobbs Kessler's just stuck on the inside a little bit. Josh Hoey decides to make it a good long run. Goes past Hocker.
Yeah, and Hocker just didn't even really react to that. He didn't pull back, but he just didn't react to that. You would thought he would have looked at him just a little bit. He's starting to try to get out, but look at Naguse right there. Looks like he's got a little bit of, I don't know, some kind of discomfort on his face.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Way out on the outside lane.
This man is not to be denied.
To the 1500 guys. Juan Yongyi did it in Kingston, the Olympic 800 meter champion. This is the man who finished second to him, and he's got the 1500 guys trailing in his wake. Can he be strong enough? Arrow looks brilliant here. Here comes Josh Kerr. Here comes Josh Hoey. Here comes Cole Hocker. They all want to get in front of him. Hocker's
Bro,
got it
no
at the
way.
moment.
Oh my gosh.
He's got the momentum. Josh Kerr is going to take it again. Josh Kerr wins the 1500 meters. Now, Arop was 5th there. He was 5th in the 800. So that means they're going to be on the same points. Kerr and Arop have got the same points. What was the time difference between them? It was a big gap in the 800. I don't think it was a big gap here, though. I think the Canadian's going to get it. In fact, he's been given 4th place on the finish. I thought he was 5th. The photo finish says he was 4th. So the slam champion is disappearing down the straight there with the flag.
Listen, yesterday when we saw him run that 800 meters, I was wondering, why did he push so hard over the last 150? Yes, he wanted to win, but he won by a lot over Hoey. And
That was one of the most that was so hype. That move he made with 300 to go was superhuman. He just looked like, I mean, that's what you see when you got a kick like that against 15 guys. He was like sprinting. I think he just mistimed it. I think he could have won that.
Yeah, I think if he would have waited just like a second or two later, maybe he doesn't win, but maybe he even just gets like 3rd.
Nets fan 24 said Arop got that football body, keeping up with these distance runners. Yeah, he looks so much more intimidating. That was so hype. Shout out to both Kerr and Hocker down the home stretch, but Arop, I mean, what a hero. You know, like completely made that race, took it from the start, stuck with them and pushed 300 to go. I think that Marco Arop is correct. If he really puts it together, he can go 330. He just ran a 334 off some pretty wild racing strategies. Dang, that was one of the most entertaining 1500s I've ever seen. And he's the winner. He's the champion. Marco Arop, an actual legend. Man, whew. I knew that was going to be hype, but I didn't think it was going to be that hype.
I mean, it's a world record watch for that 800. He running this good in the 15. He's ready. He's ready to go under 142 or 141. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. He's got that strength. He negative split the 8 yesterday. Whew, that was exciting. Look at that. Wow. Josh Kerr coming up for second, 50,000, followed by Hoey, Cole Hawker in fourth, Hobbs Kessler, and Nagoose, Chappelle, and Elliot Giles. I got to look at these splits here. So through the 400, they're at 57.3. The final 400 was about 56. No. It was about 54. Holy cow. Man, what a race. Yeah, Marco Arop, world record watch, no question about it. Just, holy cow. Marco and Wanyonyi gonna get 140. I mean, that's very possible. Yeah, that honestly, like, Kerr's final 100, underrated moment right there. I know he technically won. I was just shocked by Arop's move. Next event lined up is the Women's 100, featuring Melissa Jefferson Wooden, Gabby Thomas, Brittany Brown, Daryl Nita, Tamari Davis. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, this might be the race of the day right here.
Yeah, things are heating up. They're getting faster and faster. That one was a clear highlight. But these final two power sprinting events, women's 100 followed by the men's 100. Woo. What happened to Nagoose? I'm not sure. Where was he? He finished in 6th. Nagoose ran 3:35 as well. I mean, he just caught up in the massive kicks free at the end.
It's Friday. It's pre-meet day. I'm feeling pretty good. It's great stadium. I love being out here. It reminds me of my college days. We had our conference here for Ivy League. Most people don't know that I am a long jump conference champion. Right over there in that pit where I jumped my long jump PB. I'm out here and I'm having fun. Vibes are high. I'm trying to find a TikTok to do, guys. Doing the short sprints category,
Yeah,
and we
I
have
think
a
Marco
pretty
did time that
intense
one
lineup,
wrong.
So I'm just gonna go out there.
If he'd have just stayed with them and waited to attack at 100, 150 to go, you got to think that Arop is not losing that race given his kicking abilities. Kerr's kick was deadly. He literally outkicked Cole Hawker. I've got the splits here. I will post those splits in the chat so you guys can see. But final 100 from Josh Kerr was 12.99. Final 100 from Hawker was 13.2. But for for Marco Arop, from 1200 to 1300, he ran a 12.89, which was actually faster than Josh Kerr's final 100.
Yeesh. Just the bench, he just kept going, and Gabby normally runs people down in the home straight, wasn't able to do it.
She wasn't. You know what? I think Gabby may start realizing that she's more of a 200, 400 person. I mean, she didn't really train for the 400 this year, and she's got the 3rd fastest time of the year.
All right, let's hit a poll here. Women's 100 meters, final women's event of the day. Melissa Jefferson Wooden, heavily favored. Are we going? I mean, let's just do the classic, under 11 seconds.
Yeah, Jefferson Wooden's been showing a lot of good shape this
You got to think Melissa Jefferson Wooden, even into a headwind right now, is going to be breaking 11 seconds. She goes 10-7 in Miami with, a little tailwind action there, but times have been slightly slower here, but I think she's ready to put down something that no one else is going to match. This could be a full 5-meter victory if she really times it right.
Yeah, she's been the sprinter on fire this year.
100 meters this time. The shorter sprint. Who is going to take this? Thelma Davis in lane 1. Yet to break 11 seconds. Runs for Liberia now, Liberian parents. And then we've got Jenna Prandini, always better at 200, but is a sub-11 100-meter runner. Good few years ago now, though. Tamari Davis, excuse me. Now it's second in Miami. We had the following win there. We got the big fast times, 10:79. She ran. The wind was just above the legal limit, but that was quick. Melissa Jefferson Wooden was just ahead on that occasion, taking the win, and is the favorite to take the win here, and then, therefore, to take the slam title Gabby Thomas dropped into these short sprints in Miami, and now finished second there, and looks as though she would have to have something incredible here to turn things around. Dina Rasher-Smith, world champion back in 2019 in the 200, British record holder in both sprints. Celera Barnes, 10.94 a couple of years ago, but is running very well at the moment. Good starter again, may well figure in this. Celera Barnes in lane 7, Jaden Mays in 5. Well, Mays and Barnes, you don't think are going to figure in terms of a slam. That's not going to happen, because we're not going to see any crazy drama here. You just think that Melissa Jefferson wouldn't. Where she's at the moment, that Gabby Thomas knows that even at her very best, she would struggle to get ahead of Jefferson Wooden.
Well, it would be sweet revenge to get Jefferson Wooden back in her event, as she took her event. Tall ask.
Big ask. So we've got Davis is in 3, next to Jefferson Wooden in 4. Thomas is in 5. Watch out for Barnes in 7. And they get away first time, and look at Jefferson Wooden already got a big start. Gabby Thomas 2 meters behind at this point. Tamara Davis going well in second, but miles ahead of everybody. Jefferson Wooden
was nasty.
10.74.
Oh my God, no way.
Win. That is incredibly quick, the fastest in the world this year.
Nasty.
9 meters.
Nasty.
Yo, she on some other stuff right now.
Dude.
She different.
That's number 11 all time, tied with Merlene Ottey and English Gardner. Legal Wind. Look at that. She just won by 0.3 of a second. 0.3.
Sheesh. She was for sure sliding. Whoever said that in the chat, she was sliding. That was crazy.
Man, she wasn't sliding. She let gravity turn sideways for her right there. That was something that you do not see ever. Well, you do, but it's very rare. It's very, very rare. And it was unexpected on a day when no one was running fast. And she still goes 10.74. I'm so happy the wind was somewhat favorable and legal, because it was her time. This has been building for Melissa Jefferson Wooden for years now. She's gotten close to getting up there. She's put together some amazing seasons, but a 10.74, you love to see it. Her previous best was 10.80, and that was from last year's Olympic trials. She is building this season. She could be the one that brings Grand Slam to the next level, because that was such a beautiful, beautiful run. And look how far ahead she gets. By 60, she is gone. Let's see what the splits bring here, because we should be able to get these live splits. Take a guess at what her 60-meter split was, because I have my eyes on it right now. It says, again, this is up for interpretation. It says that Melissa Jefferson Wooden went through 60 meters at 6.95 seconds.
Jeez.
You know how many people have gone sub 7 for the indoor 60 ever?
What? 2? Any? I don't know what the world record. I don't know what the world record is off the top of my head.
Only 14 have ever gone under 7 for the indoor 60. And granted, there are some differences between the indoor 60 and the outdoor 60. There's wind, there's different surfaces, there's just, a lot of different factors. And obviously Jefferson Wooden took that victory, and she's going to win that $100,000. Super well deserved. But yeah, what Melissa Jefferson Wooden just did is absolutely next level.
10.73, Melissa. Sold out crowd. What does this moment mean to you?
It means everything. I've been working so hard for this, and I'm just learning so many new things about myself, the way I go about training, the way I go about staying disciplined even when I'm not feeling my best. And it's just all coming together, and I'm so happy I was able to get a new PB, win legal this time. So it's time to go back home, get back in the lab, and get ready for the next slam.
Win legal, but it is cold out here. What does that tell you about where you are right now on June 1st?
it's cold for everybody, and I do my best to warm up to the best of my ability. And my coach's main thing today was to make sure that I stay warm, so that's what I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dang, wow. Wow.
Whoa. Good seeing you, man. Grand Slam champ. Mr. Grand Slam right now. Mr. Grand Slam.
Yeah, that's amazing. Super happy for her. Like she deserved that.
You want to walk me through your favorite 100-meter race?
I mean, yeah, it's like won bronze in the 100 last year. And now she's just taking off, getting faster every single slam. So maybe GST is working. It's helping.
Yeah, clearly working. Oh, let's hear the Kung Fu Kenny origin story.
Kenny is the man when it comes to top end speed. What are you feeling right now?
I mean, I'm feeling free. Everything feels effortless. Also, just making sure just to keep pressing on the gas.
He's gone. He's well clear. There's daylight between him and the rest. That's fast. That's quick.
We both share the same 200-meter time.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. This year, we're going to see something even faster than that. I've been taking everything to the next level, and I think I can get that done.
Do you think that being a part of the Grand Slam from the beginning has helped you become a sharper athlete?
This format has definitely for sure helped me. I mean, the more that I, get to step on in 100 meters and just keep getting that reps in, that gives me the opportunity to show off my talents. Yeah, I mean, I love it.
It's Kenny Bednarek, and then look at Seville right through the middle. Kenny has been given it.
What are you thinking about when you're coming and approaching the finish line?
Those moments are intense. You just got to dig deep, try to get that win.
Good luck in the future, man. Philly's here for you. Go for it.
Appreciate it.
You love to hear Justin Gatlin talking with Bednarek, like Karam was just mentioning. I love how he said, we both share that 1957, and immediately Bednarek's like, yeah, I'm going to run faster than that this year.
Yeah, Kenny's not afraid of the smoke. He's not afraid of the smoke. He really owns GST. This is his right now.
You got to think that kind of confidence is going to inspire others to join. Again, we'll see what happens in LA. Hopefully we get some big names over there, but I'd be very surprised if Bednarek lost this. He's up against some good competition. He's up against Darnell Hughes. He's up against DeGrasse. There's also the two Christians, Christian Coleman and Christian Miller. How will they do on this final race? But Bednarek's the man to beat right now.
Second to Kenny in the 200 meters again. Hasn't looked as sharp over 100 in recent times. So I just wonder how this is going to go.
Previously on Grand Slam track, men's short sprints.
Well, that little twitch from Hughes, but he got away, but Kenny's got away strongly as well. And look at Coleman in lane 2. He has come to the races here. Here goes Kenny away and gone. Kenny wins it. Daylight. In fact, almost a week between him and the rest. Men's 100 meters, always a climax of any track meet. So from lane 1, and Wazirike, 22-year-old from Nigeria, was 7th in the 200 meters. Brian Lavelle of Jamaica, 21-year-old, has run both of those men under 10 seconds, as you'd expect. If you want to be in this company, you have to do that. Andre DeGrasse done it many times. The Canadian, 30 now, still producing good performances, former Olympic champion. Favorite to take the slam title again. In the 200 yesterday was as good as we've just seen. Melissa Jefferson wouldn't be in the 100. He was so far ahead of everybody else. Can Hughes hang on to him? It's been a while. The last time Zarnell ran under 10 seconds was when he was 3rd to win the bronze medal at the World Championships in Budapest in 23. Christian Coleman, the last time he won a 100-meter race that wasn't a heat or a semi-final was a year ago at the pre-meet. He ran 9:95. So winning is something Christian needs to rediscover. Lane 7 is empty. Then we've got Aaron Brown of Canada, was 3rd in the 200 meters. Was at the World Relays with Andre DeGrasse, the lead-off man for the Canadian 4x1 squad. Kenny has got used to winning. He's got used to, well, he's got a bigger bag to take the money home now, I think.
He does, but even though there was the heights of yesterday, he's actually in a peculiar position. He can really lose this thing. Zarnell won by 1,000. in that 200 yesterday to get him into second place. If he beats Kenny in this 100, which is possible, he has a better PR.
Yep, he
World
does.
Championship bronze medalist. Drama.
It would be. Kenny's in 4, Coleman in 6. Gets out smartly, Kenny, but Coleman's the quickest. He's got a half a meter, but here comes Kenny. He's already gone into the front and away he's gone. Again, Kenny Benderrick is the boss. 987. Wow! It's quick here in Philadelphia. It might be chilly. It's freezing. But they are hot on the track. Very hot. 986. A new personal best. Windlegal. Nobody can take that away from him.
It took a minute for it. They are moving. It took a minute for them to warm up, but man, they closed this out with a bang. Melissa Jefferson Wood, 10.74, followed by Bernard. Look at him. Still got all the energy in the world with a 986.
Kenny ready, man. We can't be sleeping on Kenny in the 100. Like,
No.
yeah.
They keep mentioning that it's cold out there too. That's a new PB. His previous best was a 987. So he just went 986 in a dominant finish on a what seems to be a cool day. Dang. Man. What a way to end.
LA's gonna be fun.
LA is going to be a trip, man. Well, who's going to win the... I mean, obviously Bernard's going to win. Who's going to get in the top 3? That's the question. Kenny, what is Kenny on? Yeah, I don't know. He's on something. He's on crush mode. Yeah, he could definitely break 9.8. He went 9.79 with a little bit of wind, and this one is a cold one.
We're getting into the time now where these times matter and these performances mean something, and Kenny's confidence is raising.
And one of the things you've said, and it's so evident here, it looks
Yeah, Lyles versus Kenny. That's going to be a matchup, man. I'm so excited to see when those two finally clash.
You know how Bolt used to look like? It kind of it's just
Kenny had that start, though. Did you see how quick he got out? You look at Coleman for the start, and you just assume he's going to be out, but Kenny was right there.
Girlfriend, wife, loving it.
She's a professional golfer. I mean, they both have so much going for them, so it's probably a really fun household right now.
Well,
It's important to mention that Kenny is in a different position from Noah this year. Noah has a bye to the Worlds in both the 100 and the 200, as he is the previous champion. He doesn't even have to go to Nationals. I'm sure he will, but whenever those two do clash, you better keep your eyes open, because that is going to be a race to watch. So Hughes does get second. Gets that 50K. Brian Lavelle from Jamaica with 30 grand. Very nice payday. And Christian Miller, I mean, still 19, still putting together his season. I'm sure he's looking for improvements. But let's head to the splits real quick, because Bernard, oh, it doesn't actually have the full splits, it just has the finish. So they didn't get the 10-meter splits, unfortunately, but let's listen to the interview.
You're looking almost invincible at this point. A clean sweep in all 3 events, 72 points. That means you are currently the racer of the year and looking favourite to take the title in LA. Is that in your mind at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's a little extra motivation, but like I said, every single meet that I go to, I just stay to the script that my coach and I built, and this is the performance we get.
And just finally, is this the best ever Kenny Benderrick we're seeing?
No, this is not the best. We still got a lot more to go. We're not even peaked yet, so y'all just getting a taste.
Well, that's very exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
We're still just getting a taste. Yeah, that's scary. Anson said it right.
Dennis Smith, man, that dude's killing it. You got Melissa, TT, and Sha'Carri going crazy. Kenny's going crazy. Like,
yeah, what a training group.
And that 100th that he got actually gave him a new personal best.
looks like he's not even interested in that. He's just looking at what's ahead, knows that there's more to come. Well, that's it for our third Grand Slam. Here are our winners. Jasmine Jones, welcome to her. She picked up the win. Well, Tedji with 2 wins. in the 8 and the 1500. Akira Nugent similarly in the short hurdles. Paulino was dominant again. All of our winners doing brilliantly well. Madsen Smith, despite coming 5th in the 200, comes away with a slam win. Similar for Marco Arop, great run in the 1500, his so-called weaker event. And Nico Young came up in the men's long distance, where there was just one race, the 3,000 meters. Philadelphia have done us proud. Franklin Field, as ever, has produced some brilliant performances, but here we can see we're now in the Racer of the Year with just one more slam to come. And the Women's Racer of the Year, Jefferson Wooden, has now jumped out ahead of Paulino. Sydney's dropped to 3rd after moving down to the short sprints. In the men's event, Kenny just continues to stay out there. Dos Santos was matching him, but not today because he was beaten in the 400-meter flat. So Kenny now has a 6-point lead over Dos Santos.
That was a great meet. Day 1 was solid. Day 2 was even more entertaining. We'll leave your thoughts on your favorite event from today. I might have to go with that women's 100. That was just dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to copy you, but yeah, that 10.73.
Oh, was it 7.3?
I think the official was 7.3. That's
Oh, you're
crazy.
right. Oh, snap. That goes top 10 all time then. I thought it was 7.4. Yeah, she's tied with Christine Eran from France. Right behind Julian Alfred on that all-time list. Holy cow. What a progression. I think so that's got to be my standout moment. I think the race of the day might have to go to that men's 1500 though. A rope pulling out that crazy kick, sticking it right in with the 1500 guys.
Yeah, no, that's a good group. That's a good group. Every time they race, it's hard to predict what's gonna happen. So that was fun to watch too.
Yeah, Melissa Jefferson Wooden ran a 10.73, DMV Bay. You can see the results. I'll send the results and the splits for a lot of the races in the chat right now. Man. Yeah, that concludes day 2 of Philadelphia. We got one stream left. And for anyone still in the stream, please check out the pinned comment above the chat here. This will help us ensure we have another stream come Los Angeles. Click on that link. It'll take you to a page. Let the page load and click some of those blue boxes. They're personalized to your research, and it probably is going to concern running. Literally click away on all of the blue links. Go through that and go to the next one. Visit the website. You'll find some cool running apparel. You might find some cool ideas for your next race, stuff like that. Please click away. It helps way more than you can realize. And to everyone saying thank you, we appreciate you being here as well. And yeah, it was fun. We're definitely getting better quality with each meet, slowly and steadily. It's getting a lot more entertaining for us, and we hope you guys really enjoy. But yeah, I think that's going to conclude day 2. Aaron, thank you so much for joining me. And if you guys make sure you visit that pinned comment, that will help. So hopefully we'll see you in LA. We'll keep you updated on when we're hopefully going to host. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your weekend, everyone.